Bela Lugosi was the original choice for the creature, but when he Why, hello there, YouTube, and welcome back to 31. So we're on day 15 now, and I can't believe how fast it's going. And it's day 2 of Universal Week, and today I'm reviewing Frankenstein. Yes, so this is, the one that set the standards for how the creature in this is portrayed by Boris Karloff and that. So in this, Henry Frankenstein, I don't know why he's called Henry, or when his name's Victor in the book, I don't know if that was copyright or something. I don't exactly know, but Colin Clive stars as Henry Frankenstein, where he dreams of creating new life out of electricity and is successful when he creates his monster, played by Boris Karloff. But not understanding the creature exactly, he is unaware that he fears flames, and the creature gets out, and Frankenstein never bothers with him. And then this whole village gets shook by it when he accidentally drowns a girl, and the whole village attacks a windmill, having Frankenstein and the creature doomed. So that is like the plot there. So what did I like about this? Well, this was based on the work by Mary Shelley, again based on the stage play, and in this, this is one of these classics that have cemented themselves into pop culture. Boris Karloff playing the creature, having that whole standard for future portrayals of Frankenstein's monster with the green skin and the flat top and the neck bolts, which were made to actually channel electricity into its body, not to hold its head on or anything. But we would later get creations like Herman Munster and other things. But I believe at the moment Universal own the rights to that specific look of the creature. But I gotta say, the makeup effects of that time were just amazing. How Boris Karloff sat for 16 hours a day in the hot California sun, I will never know, and it was absolutely stifling in those conditions. And of course, back then, the actor got no say. This was what his daughter Sarah Karloff said in an interview, that back then the actor got no say in how they get to be treated and that, because actors were just seen as players and weren't paid a lot for it. But Boris Karloff, he hung in there, and I think he did great. I mean, Bela Lugosi was the original choice for the creature, but when he was told that his face would be covered in makeup, he was like, no, he doesn't want to be in it. But he would later join the franchise as Igor, or the assistant, that would set the things for Igor. But I don't think he was called Igor in Son of Frankenstein. But, I can't see anyone else doing this other than Boris Karloff, who is a great actor, and he did many plays and many moving pictures before this one, but it was this one that made him an overnight success. And there's even that scene where he befriends a little girl and he accidentally throws her in the pond and drowns her. That scene, we never do actually see her drown, but we do see the father carrying her body back. That had to be removed at the time because it was considered too graphic and too shocking, but would later be put back in the 60s, in 1961, I think. Also, this film was said to be so shocking and so horrifying at the time that before the film even started, there was, like, on the screen, a man that appeared giving people that warning that there are things that may shock you and stuff, which would go on to become, like, in the early days of The Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors, they would go on to recreate this. And it's, like when I do the intro for day 1 on 31 every year, that was inspired by this. So I mean, like I say, today this is considered very tame. It's very PG, not scary at all, but I can see how it was scary at the time. And of course, we can forget that immortal soundtrack, that da-da-da stuff, and the visual effects of the lightning I thought was good. And of course, Colin Clive Frankenstein invented that whole immortal line. Well, I don't think he invented that immortal line, it was quoted in the book. But the way he portrays it, saying, "It's alive, my God, it's alive, now I know what it's like to be God." Yeah, the whole mad scientist trope there. But yeah, I thought this was a nicely done one. I mean, it's about 70 minutes long, which I think in 1931 were long enough for people to sit through, and I believe were shocking and scary at that time. But we've had so much stuff then. But I feel that these horror movies were made, these movies walked, so later films, later adaptations, and horror in general could run. And Boris Karloff, putting his one of his best performances in there. We even get Edward Van Sollen as Dr. Wallman in this. Yeah, he's going to be mentioned quite a lot in this week because he's in a lot of the Universal movies. Edward Van Sollen. So yeah, he's going to and Boris Karloff too, especially in the film I'm going to be going over tomorrow, where that'll be the halfway point. But yes, this one, Frankenstein, just so vintage, so classic. I love it, and I just could watch it all the time and just never be bored with it, because that just shows, even though the cast and crew, everyone involved with the making of these movies are long gone, it just shows how much they've immortalized themselves into this genre and pop culture and stuff. And this was also directed by James Whale, again, another director which we'll be mentioning later on in the week. James Whale, again, did great directing, of course, and he had a troubled life, having to be closeted, throughout his time, because of the time he lived in, which is a shame. But yes, this was an enjoyable film, masterpiece, and James Whale did great directing. I see why they brought him back to do other movies like The Invisible Man and stuff. So anyway, enough with the whole chin wagging. Do I have anything to dislike? I don't think so. So I will give Frankenstein, again, it gets a 5 out of 5 from me. So there you go. There's your review for today. So I will see you tomorrow for day 16, where we will be at the halfway point. See, we're already 15 episodes in. We've got, 16 more to go. And tomorrow we'll have had, when it's the halfway one, we'll be 15 days in and another 15 to go. Can't believe how fast it goes every year. But anyway, yeah, I will see you tomorrow. So until next time, don't have nightmares.